Welcome to this online training on developing a cross-border cooperation project. As you know, there are 7 key steps to developing a good quality project. Let's now look at the assumptions needed for the intervention to be successful. In the previous videos, our partners, Anna, Boris and Carla, have defined their project strategy and logic of intervention. However, in doing so, they have left aside some issues that also affect the problem they want to address. These are the elements from the objective tree that they have chosen not to include in their project strategy. They may also have overlooked some other important external factors or conditions that also influence the success of their project. These external factors and conditions need to be carefully reviewed before finalizing the project design, as they may affect the logical link between doing activities, delivering outputs, and achieving project results and impacts. In reviewing these external factors, you should wonder whether each factor is important for your project success and whether it will hold true. It may be necessary, as a result of this review, to redesign your project in order to gain more control over this external factor. In case an external factor is essential for your project success, if it is very unlikely to hold true, and if you cannot redesign the project to control it, your project is just not feasible. On the other hand, if an external factor is not that important for project success, or if it will almost certainly hold true, don't worry about it. Now, if an external factor is important, but if it will only possibly hold true, then you will need to include it as one of the assumptions supporting your project intervention. You will need to monitor this assumption during implementation in order to make sure that your project intervention logic is still valid. Let's now see how Anna, Boris and Carla review their external factors and define assumptions. Okay, so let's go back to the objective tree, which you have already divided into 3 parts. There you already had objectives that are not included in your project. Start from these objectives to formulate assumptions that may affect your strategy.
Okay, let's see what is not included. For sure, we will only have an impact on maintained biodiversity if the other elements outside our project control remain stable.
Okay, let's make sure now that we're not forgetting some external factor that is important to achieve our project results.
Before asking themselves the questions about each assumption, our partners see if the elements of the intervention logic, in combination with the assumptions identified, will enable higher levels to be achieved.
So, if the nitrogen testing equipment is made available for use by farmers and they know how to use it, then what else is needed in order to achieve a reduced amount of excess use of fertilizer?
I suppose the crucial issue here is that the farmers consider the economic gain of reducing fertilizer is high enough for them to bother to test their fields regularly and adapt the fertilizer amounts.
Yes, that will be quite important. So let's put this as an assumption.
As you saw, asking this question leads to an additional assumption. They can now ask the 3 typical questions about it.
Okay, the first question being, is this important?
Clearly, yes. If the farmers see it does not bring them any economic benefit, they will be much less motivated to participate, and this is a crucial element of our intervention logic.
Then the next question is it likely the test will show sufficient economies?
I think so, yes, but it is not certain.
So we should include it as an assumption and monitor how it goes. Perhaps do an early pilot and have a steering committee meeting soon after to see if we need to adjust.
This first assumption has been classified now, but the work is not completely done yet. It is also important to think in advance what you can and will do in case the assumption doesn't hold. Or maybe there is something you could do already now.
Okay, so what could we do if this happens? Can we do anything now?
At least we could make sure the savings are made transparent to everyone. Perhaps we could ask some expert at university to calculate the cost-effectiveness of the nitrogen testing.
OK, let us add this.
And so our partners brainstorm the necessary assumptions. Let's check. Are the assumptions included unrealistic?
Most of them, yes, I would say, but the higher up in the intervention logic we get, the more uncertain and the longer term we are talking. For example, the stable levels of sewage and wastewater discharges.
Are the assumptions included relevant?
They are all relevant, as leaving one of them out makes our intervention logic weaker.
Are some key assumptions missing?
Can't think of any at this moment. We've spent quite a lot of time and effort on this.
Are the assumptions outside of the control of project management?
I would say so, yes. Even though we'll try to influence the interest of our target groups with our awareness-raising activities, it still remains largely out of our control. We'll need to keep monitoring this.
And are they included at the right level?
Well, now I come to think of it, the one on farmers willing to use their nitrogen testing skills in practice should be one level lower, I guess.
Yes, you are right. Now it is at the result level, but basically it is needed in order for them to reduce the amount of fertilizer they use in reality.
Now that our partners have reviewed the external factors, strengthened their intervention logic, and defined assumptions to be monitored during implementation, they're almost finished designing their project. There's only one last step missing. How will they know that they achieve what they plan? For more details on assumptions, please have a look here. And let's now watch our next video on defining project indicators.